I'd rather make $100 of residual income than $100,000 working 40 hours a week. And this is going to differ for everybody based on what it is they think is success, the definition of success, which is a great idea for a future video because that's huge, the definition of success. A lot of confusion between people and someone's motives or what someone's doing is differences of the definition of success. And so based on a lot of conditioning and programming and peer pressure in society, there's a lot of, you need to get the white picket fence, you need to get the job, you need to drive this certain car or have this certain living situation, or this is what you should have in terms of like a wife or kids or girlfriend or whatever at a certain time. And so people get into these emotions where they kind of like listen to everybody else on their own trajectory. So we're always on the hustle and bustle, whether you get in the car, put the key in, you start it, you don't even know yourself how the car really works, but you're just born in this period of time where cars exist, and you have it, and you need that vessel to get to your job, to get the check, to like pay for this food at this grocery store that you know because it's in your neighborhood. And so everything is just kind of planted there for you. So a lot of times in life, we're going through these motions, we're doing these actions, and we realize that it's a lot of other influences controlling your current thoughts and your current actions. And so really thinking about the definition of success and what it is you want out of life. With a monetary system, you need a little bit of it to do anything. But you have the line there of how far you go. Is it worth it to you to buy a new Mercedes, or do you take the bus, or do you get a cheap car, do you walk? So these are just things that that everybody goes over. Do I, get the Netflix subscription? Do I buy this new pair of Jordan sneakers? Do I get this certain brand of this item that's more expensive than this brand of this item? So you have those compromises and you have those choices. So based on how I want to live, I dropped out of college at 19, November of sophomore year. I just did not want to go into the debt, and I started rethinking just like what was told about what to go do. And I had a new idea, a new vision for where my life was going to go. And so I came back here to San Diego, and the last 2 years, 2.5 years or so, I've been selling tie-dye for a nonprofit out here at the beaches and the zoo. And then this last week I started my own brand, multifunctional headwear brand with Buff. And so I do a fire, water, earth, air theme with La Jolla Cove logo on it, where I'm at right now in San Diego. And so this is day 6. And what I do is I buy in bulk and I mark it up. So these Buffs, the CoolNet UVs, if you buy them from Buff's website, it's $34 with the tax and the shipping. So I bought in bulk for $12, marked up for a flat $40. And so I'm making $28 per profit. And it's only my 6th day doing this. Yesterday was my daily sales record. I sold 3 of them, which was great because it's still $84 for the day. And going back to what I was saying on people's definition of success, it depends on how you want to live. So I was renting up until March, $1,200 in rent. I had a 1-bedroom, 1 bath. It was super cool. But I got to a point where it's like I didn't really even think it was worth having the space, just to pay $1,200. There's other things I wanted to do. So I moved back in with family. And so I've been living with family since March. I saved up for a camper van, which is what I wanted to do, and I still want to do. But from March to May, I saved about $6 grand. My camper conversion was going to be about 17 grand. And on the Dodge Ram ProMaster City, which new 24,000 could probably get a used for 12,000. So if I went used for 12,000 and the camper van conversion at 17, that would be $30,000 for a completely paid off van. I was paying $1,200 a month in rent for 2 years, from 24 to 26. So $14,400 a year in rent. 2 years of rent is like 30 grand, which would have been the camper van that would have been paid off. So other than gas, yearly registration, and insurance, you basically have a $0 payment. So you could come out here like this and sell 2 Buffs at $40 and make $56 that day for profit. But this is where people's definition of success comes in. because they're like, Mason, you've been out here for 8 hours today, 10 hours today, 12 hours today at the beach, selling 2 buffs. Like, that's less than minimum wage, right? It's another one of those just things that they think is the thing to do. They're not understanding. I'm at the beach, the water, everybody's out and enjoying themselves, enjoying their summer, enjoying their day. It's sunny, it's San Diego, there's just good energy. It's like, what's the worth going to a job in a brand new Mercedes because I make 6 figures just to sit there under someone else's stuff and then drive home, and then you're always just on someone else's stuff? And is it worth the material additions in your life? Which is why, for me, I would rather make $100 a day residually. Like, you wake up, you know $100 is going right into your bank account and you can count on that, than to make 100 grand a year just doing 40 hours a week somewhere that it's not even your own thing. And we can take those jobs, you know, when we're starting off young, especially guys in their 20s, you know, take your entry level position wherever, but why not have a goal to own something yourself, and then maybe younger people at that point work for you? And so my business right now on day 6, I've taken my buffs to a couple of the gift shops up here, the La Jolla Cove Market Outpost and also the Cave Store. Right now I have it currently in the Outpost store for consignment, which is really cool. And they want to work with me where they need to get stuff out here to sell, and they want me to put stuff on my table to work consignment for them. So it's kind of both of us helping each other out. I can't split myself in half and go to 2 different places. So it's important to get your stuff into other shops. I could be here and sell 1 or 2, and then the shop sold 1, and then the second shop sold 1. Like I said, the Outpost Market, they are working with me on consignment, so I already have my products in there. The Cave Store has a little bit of a different setup where they buy in bulk of your product, and then they'll do what they will with the markup themselves, but they pay you directly for the bulk, and then that's your payment for it, as opposed to consignment, which would be putting my products in their shop for free, and then we both split that percentage per sale. But the point is, going back to the residual income with that, is what's the lifestyle do you want to live? I mean, if you want to go out to eat every day and you got a bunch of college debt and you got a mortgage that you took out, yeah, $56 a day might not cut it for you. But my grandpa here on my mom's side was in the Navy in San Diego, and so he got some property when it was really cheap. And so that's the reason that we can stay out here, is because there's no rent or no mortgage on where we live. And so when I was paying rent, you know, as a 24-year-old man myself, it was like, yeah, you moved out of your family's house, you're on your own, you got your own place, bring a girl over. So like, to you, yeah, like there's advantages to it, it's fun. But I started just thinking more like down the line with things. It's like, I don't even need this material house that's 804 square feet just to say that I have a house, just to say that that's like moving on in life. It just wasn't worth it to me. I'd rather be out here. See, that's the thing. I could have 0 sales today, and I'm just glad I was here. I never feel like I was coming to work. So that's the overall idea with something like this, with my brand La Jolla Cove headwear, is that possibly I could get to a point where I hire someone to come out here and sell for me, and then I could have my time freedom and just oversee it. Or I continue to work the booth myself, get my products in there for consignment, and then I'm making residual money off of the consignment and off of having it in other stores. And those are just the 2 stores close to here at the Cove that I've taken it to. There's a couple other places I haven't hit yet, but just staying on that grind of just, you know, helping each other out. Or like another vendor that might be out here that they drop off their stuff and they need to go park their car. It's like, sure, man, I'll watch your stand for you. You know, just helping each other out in how we can to kind of keep that residual flow going. And that's the overall idea I want with this. Is it doesn't matter how many buffs a day I sell, because keeping in line with that camper van goal, that minimalism, once you have a van that's paid off for $0 in a payment, you already own it, you know, you're just paying the yearly registration and the insurance. At that point, you could sell 2 buffs a day for $56 profit. That's your food. Just, yeah, don't go out to eat. Don't sit down at a restaurant every day. Get your own food from the store, fruits, vegetables, salads, make your own stuff, but it's doable. Do you really need the Netflix subscription? Do you really need the new pair of Jordans? Do you really need a lot of the stuff you do, like going out with friends and drinking at the bar? Do you really need all that? It's really how you want to live. So this definition of success, or what was told to you about the white picket fence, the school, the if you went to community college and that's lesser than going to Harvard, like all that stuff. If you just rethink how you want to personally live, it's very doable. You know, when you tell someone it's easy to live off of $50 a day, they look at you like you're crazy because they just have this definition of success like, well, where are you gonna live? It's like, right, like, you need a mortgage, you need like an artificial four walls, you need running water, you need this TV, phone bill, internet bill, television. It's just like their definition based off of how they want to live or what was told to them or a combination, but they don't get it. Like someone like me that might have been paying rent, living alone, why I would want to move back with family, why I would want to downsize. It's because it's a time freedom. It's the residuals. It's just like being out here and enjoying my day regardless of sales or not. And so I'd rather make $100 residually, just waking up knowing there's $100 in the bank account, boom, than to make 100 grand every year, 40 hours a week. Or even we could even cut that. Say 100 grand a year, 20 hours a week, 4-hour work days, or you only, you work several hours for a couple days and then have the rest of the week off. But the point being, like, that thing that just constantly ties you, or that person above you that's like, hey, Jim, you need to file that paperwork, or your job's on the line, or just why are you talking to your coworker to get back to work? Like, just like the micromanaging, the bureaucracy. Like out here, yesterday was my 5th day with my business. It was my highest sales day. I sold 3 of my buffs, $84 profit. People don't think that's a lot of money, or they don't think it's a good day, but it's like, you're talking to people from all over the world. Hey, how's your vacation? Or what are you up to today? And it pays your food. And it's like, there's not someone micromanaging it, like your conversations and like what you're allowed to say, what you're allowed to do. So that stuff's very important to me. And so through my YouTube channel, which I started at 21, another thing people don't get, they think like, oh, you started this YouTube channel at 21, that's your bar year. Like, what, you should be like out with people like drinking and stuff. That's, you just turned 21. Because they think of it like, oh, well, like YouTube isn't a career at 22. It's like, no, you start the channel at 21, so then maybe by 30 you have some residuals. And it doesn't have to be that much. What if YouTube paid you $100 a day between other stuff you're doing? And that's my point with this, to have like that guaranteed, just like $50 to $100, bam, every day is worth more to me than 100 grand, but my time is tied up and it's not truly where I want to be.